Are there any red flags that our listeners should be aware of when they're considering going into a partnership? Things that would be a clear sign that this isn't a good idea?
I think if you're not well aligned up front in any way, that's a big deal. I think it's a yellow light and, requires more digging. So if you just don't feel that in your gut, some important things are well aligned, it's better not to do a deal than to try to force it because, hey, we both, want to stay friends and this is a good opportunity. Like if there's anything that just makes you go, this could end up being a problem. Sometimes it's personality, and sometimes it's conflict resolution, it's reputation. I mean, if there's someone that has a reputation of having multiple relationships and deals fall apart, if they're harsh or arrogant or very very controlling, and they don't respect you and your thoughts up front, that's probably a good sign that maybe you shouldn't move forward. If there's any questions about integrity, deals that they've done in the past where, maybe they did something unscrupulous, I'd say stay away. It's better to not do a deal than to do a deal with someone that you have any question of their integrity or their competence, their propensity for collaboration. You if you're going to partner with someone, they have to be collaborative. They have to be able to give and take, to clearly communicate, and to have respect for the value that all partners bring. If someone thinks that the value that they bring is so much more than the value that anybody else brings, that could be a red flag, because you want somebody that is a team player that says, we want the best for all of our investors, for all of our partners. Let's make sure that we're all willing to sacrifice and to have our partners back. That's really important. So sometimes you can get a feel for that up front, and I think it's better to date than to jump into marriage. And so maybe you do something small, really small together first before you do something really big together.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Good. And so obviously there are some risks involved. Is this partnership strategy something that's for everyone, or how can someone decide if it is a good idea for them to have a partner?
Partnerships sometimes are built out of necessity. I think a lot of people have the personality that they'd rather be in full control of what they do and only own their own investments and not have to share the equity and share, the work, and have to get, permission for decisions from somebody else. But ultimately, we need partners because we all either run out of time or money, or we just don't have the skills set and the passions to do certain things that are needed. And so if you are the kind of person that just likes to have control of everything and you have a hard time giving up control and trust, you might be better served if you've got the money to just do your own deals and build your own portfolio. If you're somebody who lacks either skills, time, or money to continue to grow on your own in your own portfolio, then you should consider a partnership. And you've got to think about, what am I willing to give up control of? What can I trust someone else to do? And what do I not love doing that if I had someone that loved to do it, we'd grow a lot faster than I would do it on my own? And I think when you ask yourself those questions, it becomes easier to say, okay, yes, I'm going to have a partner. If you're someone that you have the skills and the competence and the desire, to do all of it, but you just don't have the money, then maybe you create some joint venture partnerships where you have, limited partners who are funding the deal, and then you run the show, by yourself. Just know eventually you're going to run out of bandwidth because you can only do so much.
So it seems like an important first step is really to know yourself then and know what you can offer in the relationship. Would you say that's the case?
Oh, 100%. And basically go through a series of questions that, you should ask yourself and you should ask your partner, and you should be able to answer for your partner. So it's not just, I'm interviewing you to see if I want to be your partner, but here's what I have to offer. Here's what my personality looks like. Here's what my communication style looks like. Here's what my vision for growth looks like. Here's what my bandwidth and my passions and my skills look like. And so that both of you have complete, two-way communication for figuring out, is this a good fit as a partner? And then is the deal that we see a good fit for both of us? And if the deal isn't a good fit, then maybe you say, hey, when we find the deal that aligns with all of this, then that's when we're going to do, a deal together.